787 departure frequency 15 will be 1257.
25. Tell him I said it's not just about you getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And then we get comfortable in our surroundings. You know, and that's one thing that I try my best not to do. Like this fight that I took for Bellator, you know, with Gabriel Varga, people flipped out, bro. You should see the messages I got. Don't take that fight. What are you doing? I mean, you wouldn't believe.
Because they didn't think he could do it? Or?
No, he's the number one world champion kickboxer right now. It's not like, the people don't realize, like, it's not like he was. Like, no, he still holds 6 world titles right now. He's the number one kickboxer in the world. He's considered the best kickboxer in the world. I'd always, like, consider one of the best.
I'm sure that crossed your mind.
Of course it
right?
did. But at the same time, like I said earlier,
Yeah.
I love uncomfortable situations because they make you grow if you look at it the right way.
Absolutely.
You know, and this is MMA. I'm a mixed martial artist. I'm not a kickboxer.
Right.
I'm not just a boxer. I'm not just a jiu-jitsu guy. I'm a mixed martial artist. And so you got to respect that. And, you know, and so coming off my last two MMA fights, my last one, I was winning the fight, get caught and get knocked out on national television. You know, people were like, dude, listen, don't fight him. He's so much better than the guy that beat you, and, you know. And but you know, I love it. I talked to my wife about it. My wife is my biggest fan. My wife is truly my best friend. I know people say that like all the time, but like my wife is like the realest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's
yeah.
like by far, like I've asked her stuff and she's hurt my feelings before.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you think about this? She's like, what are you thinking? You know?
Yeah. Well, thank God you got someone like that.
You got to have it.
Oh
if you want to be
gosh.
successful, you have to have the person you're connected to has to be important.
Yeah.
They have to be real and honest. And so I was talking to her about the fight. I said, babe, I think I'm going to shock the world. She said, no, don't think. If you think you're going to shock the world, you're not taking the fight. If you're going to shock the world, let's take the fight.
Oh, man.
And I said, let's do it. She goes, what are we waiting on?
Yeah.
And she said, you know, and I said, well, I'm going to be in the gym a lot more. And she goes, what are we talking about this for?
Yeah.
Like, this is your dream and goal. I'm attached to it.
Yeah.
That was it. Nothing else was said about the fight
Wow.
from her. It was like,
That's incredible.
okay. You know, and so that's why when you said it happened fast, I wasn't on my social media a whole lot because I was in the gym, and then I had broke my hand. I had a boxer's fracture 4 weeks out from the fight, and then I broke my pinky.
This was all before the fight?
Before the fight.
Wow.
So you know, we didn't video and show a lot of boxing stuff like that because my hands were so wrapped.
Oh, right.
And we were like, yo, and I'm not pulling out this fight. You know what I'm saying? And so, come on, we weren't going to stand and bang with the world kickboxer. I know I got good hands, but no, I'm a mixed martial artist. I'm going to take you down. I'm gonna try to hound you I'm going to take you out to deep water. Let's see, can you swim?
Yeah.
You know, and let's get you wore out and tired. Then those punches and kicks are not going to be as hard.
Right.
Then I can stand up and do what I want to do. So
he did toe you once. I saw that.
yes, he did.
But you caught him, dude. They showed it in the replay. We can watch it later. But I saw you, the kick, and you're like, oh, no, I'm good. And you go forward with that left. Dude, if you were over like an inch or two, that would have been game over.
Oh, yeah.
But you cut his eye at that point, you know.
Yeah, and I still hurt him. I could tell I hurt him.
Oh, yeah, it was a good, I'm not saying it wasn't a good punch.
Yeah, but you're right. If I was over by an inch,
it would have been devastating.
Yeah. Especially with those gloves on.
Devastating, dude.
You know.
Well, in his stance, his leg is still coming down, and so he's off balance.
Off balance.
And I mean, your fist, I would have just eaten his face.
Yeah.
It was.
So,
we
he
can
lucked
watch
out
it
on
a
that
little
one.
bit. Yeah.
I really wanted that one too.
Oh, dude, you could tell, and you could tell that you knew. You could tell that you knew. You're like, I've trained for this, because when we did Colton's little documentary, there was a time where I'm like listening to you guys while I'm filming, and we were doing one with kicks. Or you guys were doing one with kicks, and basically, you can correct me where I'm wrong, but when someone throws a kick, it's kind of like an automatic response to throw a punch when you're safe, I guess. Yeah. Yep. And so knowing that you had taught Colton that, I could see it in your body language. You were just like, oh, it's time. Yeah. Fire.
Yeah.
But it was probably nerve-wracking having his foot that close to your face and having him be the kickboxer king of the world.
Man, his foot came up so fast. Like most MMA guys, their boxing is going to be good, but not great.
Right.
Their kickboxing is going to be good, but not great. They're going to be good. If they're great at one thing, I'm going to beat you.
Right.
If you're great at one thing, and okay, I'm going to beat you. If you're good at a lot of things, then you're a dangerous fighter.
Right.
But he was so good with his kicks that like his hips didn't move. I read hips a lot. I'm a body guy.
Right.
And he threw that run kick that he told me, like, I didn't even see his hips move. And I went back and watched, like, he didn't. He just threw it. And it's like, That's why you're the number one kickboxer in the world.
Right, right.
That's why.
I can't even read him.
No, you couldn't. I couldn't. You know, so it was dangerous. It was eye-opening. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you're in a uncomfortable position, but look how much you grew from that.
Absolutely. And
confidence boost of like, oh, I have you. That's the first time in Bellator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I was on this national huge. I mean, Bellator's. I mean, UFC Bellator. It's right there. You know, and you accomplished and grew from it and got the W and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
How much? And this. Let me see. So, are you familiar with David Goggins?
I am actually.
Okay, so David Goggins has like a very aggressive mentality, like very aggressive.
I actually met him at an airport once.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, he is. He's like that all the time.
Well, I mean, he's a killer, like literal killer, you know?
No, really.
So, yeah, right. And I kind of like that mentality a little bit of like, you're fat, you're fat. You call yourself fat. If you're dumb, you're dumb, right? Yeah. What do you think about that? Do you find it, because you mentor a lot of people and you influence a lot of people. Do you find it that it's better to encourage people gradually or just flat out tell them, hey, you're fat or whatever it is? I think a little bit more.
I think it depends on the person and their mentality.
Yeah.
See, everyone's not going to have the same mentality as you. I can't coach you the same way I'm going to coach someone else. So I think it's that point. But what I do, I'm more of a connecting person. I'm going to connect with you. I'm going to build that trust and that relationship. I'm going to be honest with you and straightforward. I'm never going to lie to you. So if you say, hey, does this shirt make me look fat? And if it does, I'm like, you look a little round.
Yeah. Right,
you know, I mean, but you gotta be that person. You gotta have that person, people around you. But I think it depends on their goals as well. If someone goes, you know, hey, I want to trim down, and because I look good, I'm like, no, you can trim down a little bit more. I mean, it's all about how you say it.
Right.
David, he's very, you know, and that works. But his personality, people respect that. Right. So it works for him. Right. You know, I'm forward, but I'm not as aggressive, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And all respect to him, because I love what he does.
Oh, absolutely.
He changed lives. I mean, millions of people's lives.
Oh yeah.
You know, but I think it goes on the person's personality. Yeah. You know, I couldn't tell a woman that. I couldn't tell, you know, a guy that's maybe dealing with things mentally. That you got to be careful with that. That's just how I feel about it. You know. Right. Now, I do have friends like Ryan Mossberg. You know, I want to lose weight. You need to lose weight. You know, or Jerry Walker, my coaches. These are coaches that we talk about things. We're very straightforward and honest. You know, it's not about hurting your feelings. It's I love you enough to be honest with you. Right. So take these words and do whatever you want to do with them.
Well, then those guys are strong, you know, physically and mentally, so they can take that kind of stuff.
There you go.
You know, they're prepared for maybe that sort of blunt answer.
Yeah.
How do you talk to yourself? Like if you're like trying to pump yourself up, do you kind of build up to that, or like, I need to change these things, or you know, like this needs to stop now, or this needs to happen now?
Being honest with you, man, I'm hard on myself. I'm very strong mentally, and so I'm the type of, if I want something to happen, I need to make it happen. Our game plan for this fight was chin down, go forward. That was it. I didn't care if I'm gonna get kicked, kneed, elbowed. It doesn't matter. Our game plan was go forward, chin down, move, and let's move things. Let's get them on the ground. And so in the interview, people say, well, what do you think? I'm like, my chin's going down. I'm moving forward. I'm going to take him down there like, he's strong. His legs strong. I'm like, you don't understand my mindset, my mentality. Like, you're not going to stop me. I'm going to get it eventually. It may take longer than what we want, but I'm going to get you down eventually, because that's my mindset. You're not going to stop it. Only person who can stop me is me. And TeeJay don't stop TeeJay. TeeJay pushes TeeJay. And so, but I'm pretty hard on myself. I'm pretty, you know, I joke and I laugh. If you ever watch me walk out to the cage, you know, John McCarthy said he's the funnest guy to watch in the back. We're back there slap boxing, messing around, and I hear Gabriel or kicking the bags, boom, boom, and you could hear. I mean, it's the funniest thing ever. I'm warming up, and this guy comes in. Kevin Lee from the UFC comes in, and you know, Gabriel's on the. It's a room. It's two rooms, and it's only a black curtain between us. You know, and you could hear him kicking the bow, bow, bow. He comes in. He goes, "Who the was fighting him?" And here I am, like literally from me to you, and I see his little brother point at me. He goes, "Keep your hands up," you know, my God. You know, and like everyone walking in, you could hear him, and so here I am messing around, and so people were like, "Dude, like you about to fight," you know. And then as I'm walking out the cage, you know, my mind's kind of getting set, and I'm reminding myself as I'm walking, you know, hey, you didn't cut no corners, man. You didn't cheat. You put in the time. You sacrificed from your friends and your family, and that's when it always hits me.
Wow.
When I sacrifice for my friends and my family, that's when I start getting emotional before I walk to the cage. And then I start walking. I remind myself the heartache and the heartbreaks I've been through, and these being banged up and all that. And this guy's trying to stop me from my goal. And so when I get in the cage, I always pray, God, if you ever see, I always say, God, thank you for this opportunity. I pray that I walk in the cage and me and this fighter walk out the cage. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
And then I always do a jog around the cage. And when I'm going around that cage, that's when my mindset. It's like a switch. I don't know. I don't know what happens. It's not like I go to a different TeeJay.
Yeah.
But my mindset changes. When I see that fighter, I'm like, it's me and you, buddy. They can cheer all they want. You can have all those world titles. You can have all these accolades. It's me and you.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if you put in the time that I put in. I just don't know. You better get lucky and catch me with a blow, because if not, you're going to be going through it for the next 15 minutes. And that's what I believe. And when I tell myself, I don't lie to myself. I don't lie to myself. I look myself in the mirror and I ask myself, did you teach yourself, or did you put the time in and work? And I always answer honestly. And majority of the time, I put the work in. I didn't cheat myself. And so when I'm talking to myself, I'm believing what I'm saying to myself. Yeah. And I'm telling myself, you didn't cheat yourself. It's time to put him away. And that's that. And that's what I think. That's why my mentality shifts so fast.
Yeah.
You know, my nephew was the first one that ever said that. You know, after my first pro boxing match, the next morning I banged my hands up and all. The next morning we were up, and I woke him up, and 5 o'clock we went running. And I said, "What'd I do last night?" He said, "You had your first pro boxing match." I said, "What am I doing now?" He goes, "We're running." I said, "We're running 4 miles." I said, "You want to know why?" He said, "Because you want to be the best." I said, "I'm gonna be the best." I said, "While everyone else is partying and sleeping, I'm going to get that extra little inch," you know, like, because people say, "Oh, I train 3 times a day. I do all this." Do you really, though? Do you really? It doesn't matter if you train 3 times a day if you're not putting the work in.
Right.
You know, and so I don't cut corners more. I don't cheat. I put in the grind. I put in the work, and then the grind don't lie.
Yeah.
Sci-Fi with